Hello everyone, this is a new video of the Python tutorial series, and this is the file from the last project, and I'm gonna create a new file for today's project. Okay, so let's create this file. Now today what you're gonna learn is loops. Sometimes we want that certain code executes if certain thing is true, just like if this happens then this should be done, and we run some code. Okay, so this refers to a certain condition. Let me show you the syntax first, then we'll see some examples. We use if, then we give brackets, then we at first we let's discuss about the brackets or if. This is the keyword if. Okay, means this is the name of the statement, so you have to write. Yeah, after giving a space, you need to start some brackets. Inside these brackets, you need to write a boolean. So let me create a variable name equals Irfan. So if name equals to Irfan. Okay, so inside these brackets, we write a boolean, and that's why I told that booleans are really important. Do not miss out them. Okay, so we give a boolean between these brackets. Okay, now if this boolean returns true, then what will happen? Let me discuss. Give a colon here. Okay, not a semicolon, it's a colon. And then press enter. Python will automatically give 4 spaces. Now I'll explain you why. But let me write print hi Irfan. So now, if name equal to Irfan, if this is true, then only this code will be executed. Okay, if it's false, then this code will not be executed. Now, some people will have doubt that which code will be executed, which is considered as a part of if statement and what not. Suppose I want to declare one more variable, and that is num equals to 5. Okay, so how they will understand that this num is not a part of this if statement, or if this is not the part of the if statement or the statements written here? Well, you might have guessed Python would use the spaces here. Okay, to automatically give spaces, press tab on your keyboard. Okay, let me show again, tab. Okay, so this would bring out 4 spaces, and you can give uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, many spaces as you want, but we prefer 4. And everyone prefers 4 because the tab key gives 4 spaces. Okay, how, whatever spaces you give, ensure that, let's say that we are writing one more statement inside the if statement, and I am writing how are you. Okay, so now the gap we need to give should be equal, otherwise Python might throw an error depending upon the version of the Python you're using, but your code will guaranteed not work. Okay, so try to use this syntax. Okay, so now instead of keeping it fun, let's ask for the input and what is your name. Okay, so now let's run our code. So here it will ask what is your name. Let me enter Irfan. Okay, so whenever Irfan is entered, it will display hi Irfan, because let me tell you what happened. Here it asks for the input what is my name. I typed Irfan. So Irfan got stored in this variable name. Now this statement was run. It checked that name equal to Irfan. It returned true, and that's why this statement run, and we saw hi Irfan on there. Okay. Now some more things are there to these conditional statements. Okay, so let's give me a space here. Now here, if you write else, then you will not be able to use this bracket. You have to directly use a colon. You have to write something. Print hi person. Okay, what does this mean? This means that if this code hasn't run, then this code should run. Okay, so let's run this. Last time I've entered it fun. Let's try this time. Let's enter science. Okay, so it will display hi person. Because this boolean was false, so it didn't run this statement, so it went to the else, and as it was false, the else print hi person ran. Now there's a little bit of error that big developers also make. Okay, and that is we want to use continuous statements. Suppose if name is not Irfan, so I want name equals, let's say, Adi. Okay, if I write Adi, then if it should print hi Adi, and here we write else print hi person. Okay, some people do like this. Now whenever they run the statement, if I write Irfan, it will display hi Irfan, hi person. And if I write Adi, it will display hi Adi, and it's okay. Now what did happen when I typed Irfan? Okay, so let's comment it for a bit, then we'll uncomment it. Okay, so what it is called a series of conditional statements. See, this statement didn't run, then it will go to the next statement. Okay. The next which statement? The statement in the series. How Python understands that the statement is in series? Well, it checks consecutive statements. Now, let's uncomment this. Now here, this is another series. This is considered another series, and this is considered another series. So whenever I write Irfan, so it checks if name equal to Irfan, and that's true. So it prints hi Irfan. Then it goes here. It goes to this if, and this false. Then it goes to this else. Then it prints hi person. I don't want. I want that if one if among them is run, then none other ifs execute. But if it was the same case, then while typing Adi, why it worked? Because the series was there well. Else check for the if statements beside it. Okay. So there are so many errors. We might get confused. So let's not get confused. If you want to use continuous statements, the first one use if. And the second if, don't use it as if. Make it elif, all the errors will go. So if I print Irfan, it will only display hi Irfan. If I write here Adi, it will display hi Adi. And if I write signs. It will display high percent. Everything works well with these statements. Okay, so this is the condition we can use. Okay, and we have covered these conditional statements. Okay, so now let's explore loops. Now loops are interesting, and today's video we have learned about conditional statements. We have learned about conditional statements and we learn about loops. These are so important concepts that in advance also we need to use this. These are very important, just like in the last video. Okay. So what are loops basically? Loops, as the name suggests, these are repetition. Suppose I want I want to write print. Okay, let's comment this one. Let's skip it. Print hi Irfan. Now what do you want? I want to print it 10 times because I am very respectful person. Okay, jokes apart. So if I want to print it 10 times, what I'll do? I'll write this 10 times. Okay. Uh, so I've written 7, 8, 9, 10. I've written 10 times. Okay. So one trick for you all. Okay, if I write something here, let's keep a comment. Not, let's write a comment. If you are observing this one also, you will see that if I press Alt, Shift and down arrow, that statement duplicates. Okay. And one more trick I want to give you. If you are on a line, if you use Alt up arrow, you can simply up or down arrows, you can simply switch between these. So these are some useful tips. Okay, that VS Code gives us. So we will not get this in any other text editor or any IDE also. So let's get back into our topic. We want to print high font 10 times. Okay. So if you want to print it 10 times, you write this statement 10 times. If you run this, okay, this is the part of the last program. Now see, it's displaying hide fun, hide fun, hide fun. Means this one is run 10 times. It works nice. Okay. And let me comment this because it's interacting our code. Now, what will happen if I want to print it 1,000 times? Shall I do this? Well, this is an inconvenient. Where see 206 lines we have reached. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10 are left. Now this is really useful. If you want to write 1,000 times, you can reach 1,000 by using Alt Shift down arrow, but you might not be that accurate. You might be repeating the code for 1,001 times or 999 times. So what to use then? Then we use loops. The syntax of some loops are so for repeating some certain number of times we use the for loop, and repeating using condition we use while loop. Okay, so there are different loops, for loop and while loop. Let's explore them together in this video. Here the syntax of the for loop is we write for, then we give a variable. I is most common, so we write I for I in range. Then we give here and give com. Now here, what you need to write, how many times you want to repeat your means that code. Suppose I want to repeat 1,000 times. Write here 1,000 and let's give enter. Let's print hi Irfan. Okay. Now what will happen? Let me explain you the syntax first. We give the for, then we use a variable. I is most common and you should use I. Then we write in, then we give range of how much. That is our decision that how many times we wanna repeat. Okay. And then we give a colon, and just like the if statement we give 4 spaces, and here we give our code. Let's run. Oh my god, it is done also. So it has printed 1,000 times. Let's print it 10 times only so that we can notice it. It has printed 10 times. So this is really useful. But one tip I want to give you, and that you will be using while you're calculating factors or multiples or other things using for loops in Python. So that time, this range of directly giving a number, this habit will be very bad. So what? How can you write? You will give 1, how much you want to repeat? I want to repeat 5 times. You'll write 6. Okay. When you run, see it has repeated that print statement 5 times. So for now we'll use this because this habit is really useful. Okay. And we'll explore the for loop later also in our videos. I'll tell you in between how to use this, but for now let's keep it. Now we wanna create while loop. What happens in while loop? Let's comment this one out. Let's comment this one. For while loop, what we do, we write while, then we give space, then we give brackets. And just like this, just like if we is replaced by while. Now, what we give here, we give something. Now let me write pass here. Now what is pass? Pass we use in while loops, in for loops, in if statements, elif statement and else statements. Okay. So pass means that you'll write this section later on. Okay. And you don't want to see any error because if I keep this empty, that red line is coming. Expected indented block. So you have not written it, but still we are seeing error. We want to write it later on, so we write pass. Okay, this is a concept and this is really useful when you are an advanced developer. Now here we write a boolean here too. So that's why booleans are very important. So here in while loop what I'll write name equal to Irfan. Okay. So let me just uncomment this one. So while name equal to Irfan. Then here write print hi Irfan. What happens? Let me explain you. If name equal to Irfan, if name equal to Irfan, if this is true, then this will run. Again true, again it will run. Again true, again it will run. If false, it will not run. It will go to the next statement. Okay. So if I keep it like this, it's true forever. So it will run infinite time. So let me reset name equals 0. Okay. Let me run. It will ask my name. My name is Irfan. Hi Irfan. Now why it has displayed only one time? Let me explain you. It has at first taken input. Okay. At first taken input. It came Irfan. Now here name equal Irfan. This is true. So it ran. And then it make name equal 0. The name is 0. Now when again it comes for running, it checks name equal to for no. Name equal 0. So that's how it runs. Now see it is inside. If it's outside or it's not there, then see what will happen. If I enter Irfan, then we are gonna trapped inside infinite loop. Python will keep displaying this because the loop is running, and this is true, and this will be true forever. Okay, so that's why the while loop is running, and this was the case for while loop. Now here, sometimes you would want to run infinite statements only, but you can't use this that name equal true, or you enter such a boolean that, let's comment it, you enter like 2 equal to 2 not equal to 3. We use the exclamation mark for denoting not. And this is true because 2 will never be equal to 3, and this statement denotes that. You will give one statement that is true, and this will run forever. But this is not a good method to run a statement infinite times. We use while true. We use this really carefully. It's a very powerful tool. While true, it will run forever. Okay, so this is the case. Well, for now, let's keep my name because I am really precious. Okay, so let's uncomment everything. So this was about conditional statements and loops. Okay, now one more thing I want to tell you, that this for has a new way of using for. Okay, but I can't explain you because I'm not explaining you other data types. So let's explore it in next videos. And today this much. Thank you for watching.